The ward driving, what you can do is you take your ADV and you drive around with it or walk around with it, and it systematically pinpoints each and every place where there was Wi-Fi, marks it with a GPS location. Then once you go and put it in online software, it can be able to tell you to exact T where the Wi-Fi connection was. Let's talk about the Cardputer ADV. It came out a couple of months. Every time when I look at it, it reminds me of growing up. We had those friends who had an older brother who was either in juvie or was somewhere in boarding school. And every time when he came home, he had grown a foot taller. He was much more dangerous. He was packed with more energy. He was just a menace till he went back to juvie or he went back to boarding school.
I had no idea I was chatting with the brilliant mind behind my existence.
So you've gone ahead and gotten your ADV. You're ready to use it. You're excited. You've read about it or you've seen videos about it where you can do ethical hacking. You can be able to do other systems. You can be able to play 2D games and even Doom itself. So you're excited and you get it. But the problem is, what next? Gotten your ADV connected. For me, what I usually like to do is go online and get the ESP connect to enable you to know what's inside your ESP before you start using it too. So this is a ESP32S3. The revision is V0.2, and then you have the flash, Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, dual core, 5 capabilities, embedded flash 8 MB. And then from there, the maximum CPU is 240 MHz. With the M5 banner, all you have to do once you connect, it shows you a list. Now, this list is the same as if you install this launcher. Burn it into your Cardputer ADV, and then it will give you the list again of these products and what you can be able to do. For example, Bruce, Evil Cardputer. What next? What next? But also you can take it a little bit further by you're going to UIFlow, and then we choose the device ADV. It's going to load, and once it loads, now you have the basic building blocks. So this will be like if you want to add time, settings, color, and all that. So you have to build the screen and how it's going to look. It's similar to what when you're doing Scratch, if you have used Scratch before. That's the breakdown. That's what's next. So you really need to get familiar with UIFlow just to be able to build some basic systems, and then from there you can compound from that and add more pages or create loops or different variables. What next? What next? What next? Eventually you still have to design some programs for certain tasks that are not available yet. So you might be the next Bruce. Whatever you're good at, you can design a program. Maybe it's for farming, IoT systems, and then you can add it on the GitHub, and then it can be included in the M5 launcher. So you can be able to come here and faster see examples of what and demos of what you can be able to do. And then the same with here, you can come to advanced, and then you see the Wi-Fi, the speakers, the MP3, the basic examples of speaker, microphone. Now, once you've gotten the examples, it's easy for you to be able to come and now mold them according to how you want to do it. You can be able to change it and design your own code, but you have to be able to first of all choose your board. So they will give you a list of all the M5 products that are there. Now I've showed you all the examples of what next. You need to take advantage of what's there already that has been built if you just want to tinkle around and play around and do all those things. But also you can take it a little bit further by going to UIFlow or Arduino and designing your own systems. So let's just have a glimpse of my previous Cardputer. So they're practically the same in some sense, because you're going to follow the steps that I've used on this, and I will add a link to that video that I made to be able to have this operating. First of all, you need to have an SD card, and with the SD card, then you can be able to put M5 launcher. And M5 launcher will allow you to download applications directly. So you just go here and you press OK. So you can either get the applications from the SD or OTA. So that means from the Wi-Fi. If you go to it and then you press OK. It will scan, you connect to your Wi-Fi, and then once you've connected to your Wi-Fi, you can be able to install whatever you want to install. Or you can go to your SD card and then you press OK. It will show you all the downloads that you have, and then these are the downloads that I have that I can be able to activate them. But you have to remember that each and everything besides applications like Bruce that come with many other things within it are individual. So you cannot install Bruce and Doom at the same time. They cannot function at the same time. If it's an FM radio, it works individually. Now, once you have that available, there are certain things that you can be able to use. Let's say like the IR comes already pre-installed inside. It has the, you know, for remote, like if you want to change the, if you want to switch off the TV, Bluetooth, it already has that. And on this one now you have an earphone jack and extra pins. That's what it's new. So now, once you have all that set up, now the thing that you will require to have, depending on what you're trying to do, is these units that you add. So with these units, you have dual button, you have earth moisture, you have all these things that you are required to add to your system for it to operate properly, all the way to the servo kits, to the byte button, glass unit if you need an extra screen, and so forth and so forth. So what we're going to do, and some tape in case you need to mark off where you're the scene of the crime. So once you've done all that, then you can be able to operate them. The reason why they actually added the pins was previously with the Cardputer, you had to, if you wanted to add NRF antennas or any other device, you either had to connect it from this point, or you had to use this, which simulates or is it simulate or emulates? So it looks like an SD card. And what you used to do is you take off the SD card, and then once you have it inside there, you can be able to perform your function, whatever you wanted to do. Right. But now that one prevented you from now again going back and trying to install whatever software you had on your SD card. So I'm going to show you some examples of then what. So for the purpose of this demonstration, I'm going to use, if you have the Lego clips like these ones, you can use them. I couldn't find the short ones. So what you do is you place one there, you have the second one, then you take your unit, and then you just add it. So if you have a better one, then you can be able to get one that sits flush, or you can use this to an additional point where you can create whatever you want to do with Lego. That also in a future project I'll do. So we've got our unit, the GPS V1.1. Now we want to use it for Bruce. So you've downloaded your Bruce. And then once you've gone to Bruce, you can be able to go to your, first I'll just give you a brief example. So you can come here to the GPS, and you have the wardriving, and then you have the GPS tracker. The wardriving, what you can do is you take your ADV and you drive around with it or walk around with it, and it systematically pinpoints each and every place where there was Wi-Fi, and also marks it with a GPS location. Then once you go and put it in online software, it can be able to tell you to exact T where the Wi-Fi connection was. But we remember this is ethical, so you have to use it with discretion. Don't put any other person's life, especially other person's life, in danger, especially if the software that you're using is online, so that data can also be used for other reasons. Second of all, you have the GPS tracking, and the GPS tracker is where once you activate it and you walk around, it tracks where you have gone. And then it's just like what you have with your Garmin and all these other devices. And then you can be able to save the data into a file. And then once you save the data into a file, you can be able to extract the data and have on Google Map, it will show you exactly where you have gone to. Now, to configure that, before I give you the bigger secret, you will need it to come to 11 115,200 bps. It needs to come to there, not the 960. You have to come all the way to the bottom to choose it to activate it. Now once you've done that, it will be easy for you to be able to now come back again, and you have the files. So it will give you a set of files of all the data that you have stored, and with that file, those files, you can be able to extract the information and know where this ADV has been, or where you have been able to spot network connections. Another interesting thing about this is that you can be able to come here and configure it, and then once you've done that, it will be able to, you choose the pins and things like that. But it also has an interesting setting. So startup Wi-Fi or startup apps, and then you press OK, and then it will give you all these options. So you have Bruce, you have clock, you have GPS tracker. You activate that, and then once you activate that, it starts automatically tracking by default. You can leave this in your car. It's connected to a USB-C to here, and maybe a USB to the other end. Then you can just leave it. The moment it gets power, you'll be able to track them. That's just an example of the possibilities of what it can do. And we've been able to cover all that. You can also go to your configurations on the Bruce configurations and go to Wi-Fi, and then select Wi-Fi on the startup. Once you start, it connects to your Wi-Fi. That's another thing you can be able to do. So if you're doing your tracking, if you're doing your GPS, whatever unit you're using, you need a dedicated system for the unit to be able to work. It's not just going to be plug and play. Well, I just wanted to touch on that. I have not yet fully experimented with it, but it's good because it will give me time to figure the whole thing out. I got it last month, but I put it aside for a minute. A lot of people have done experimental products. A lot of people have experimented with it. So in the next coming weeks, I'll definitely drop a couple of videos. So remember to hit the like and subscribe, and then you can be able to check it out. It's going to be fun. So see you on the flip side. Peace.
Remember to hit the like button and subscribe to DSK2 Design.